Welcome, everybody, to Dead Edition. He's Russell Johnson.
He's David Cottingham.
Thanks for joining us. And we are here talking about what has led up to the mid-season finale of Season 2 of Fear the Walking Dead.
Yep.
We're here talking about the last two episodes. Basically, the group has arrived in Mexico, and we're going to just dive into the next two episodes, final two episodes here as we dissect them. The second to last episode, which is, you said it was based on a song almost, right?
Sickness Service, I believe how it's pronounced. I could be completely wrong. I probably am.
Yeah.
But I looked up, I think it's a piece of music, and they used it. I don't know if they used it in the show, but that's what I looked it up as. But
Right.
if you Google it, mostly it comes up Fear the Walking Dead, Sickness Service, what to know about the show. But I think it's an actual song.
So in this episode, they arrive in Mexico finally.
Mm-hmm.
Really strange beginning because it opens in a church.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And the communion is passed out to the congregation, and we find out what happens to them. What
I was a little confused early on.
I was too.
Because when they went through the whole, the actual, when they went to for mass and had gone through it all, when they went outside and I started bleeding, I was kind of like, what is going on? I didn't really wasn't sure what was happening. I thought that was almost otherworldly. I thought it was like, to me, the way it played out. But to find out later on that Thomas Abigail's mother, Celia, I was kind of confused by that, honestly, because why would she poison them?
Yeah.
With the host in church. So
I don't know. I'm not sure. Did she do it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Because I'm kind of, we're getting towards the latter part of that episode. But when Strand had pledged to end his life when Thomas died, she brought in the plate with the two communion wafers on there, which to me was what it is. I'm not sure why she poisoned all those people.
Not sure either.
Considering his estate, where they're going to have all this land, they were supposed to build houses and have a whole real estate development going on there. To have it secure, to have it functioning, to have everyone working as a community to survive, I'm not really sure why she'd wipe all those people out.
Yeah. I was confused by that for a while. I didn't really get that they actually were poisoned like you until much later. Because I
didn't find out about it until Talking Dead afterwards.
Oh, really?
So I was kind of like, what is going on? I knew that the communion wafers were poisoned, but I still didn't. I still didn't put that together.
I didn't really. I thought. I thought it kind of was maybe like a virus thing.
That's how I thought it was supernatural, or it was the virus.
Yes.
Just getting to everybody all of a sudden. That's what I thought as well.
I was like, this is a weird twist on Walking Dead. that the virus kills you,
right,
without getting bitten and whatever. But clearly, there was poison. So Strand leads the group to Thomas's estate. Mm-hmm. You find out that everything's kind of, just normal living in a sense.
Seemed like it at the time.
But we find out that Thomas is dying, which really kind of puts Strand, high distraught. He's just overwhelmed by it. So, what were you thinking watching this, leading into knowing that the season finale, mid-season finale, was the following week? Because it felt like everything was going to be okay, in a sense.
It did, and I thought I really played into the hands of the mystery. Well, not really the mystery at the time, but when Strand said, look, I want to be with you, so I'll do whatever I have to do to be with you once you're gone. For them to make that kind of pact, I was kind of like, well, I knew the reason why I thought it was a mystery, because he's a pretty major character.
Yeah.
We're only 6 episodes into season 2. I don't know if 12 episodes total at this point. I don't think they would kill him off that early. And in that way, I'm not really sure. So I was expecting. I was still like, I'm not really sure how this is going to play out.
Right.
Especially when Celia brings the the poison wafers
Yeah.
to him, and he's going to end it. So I really bought into maybe he will do it. I don't know, but there's still that doubt just based on where we were in the season, and I wasn't. There's part of me. I was just like, I'm not really sure where this is. It's got to go somewhere, obviously, because I think the history of The Walking Dead shows that no matter how safe you feel, it's all going to fall apart.
Yeah.
So like, I wasn't sure how that was going to take place, and I was really surprised of what the twist was when Daniel, went
Yes.
down to the catacombs or whatever it was, and saw that boy talking to people, talking to his mother. Oh, can you show me your mother? What did you think when you saw that reveal? Because that really harkens back to something that happened on The Walking Dead.
Absolutely. Yeah, I wasn't surprised by that because I knew something had to be wrong with the place, right? It wasn't
Right, exactly.
because if nothing was wrong with the place, they can just live there, and just hold through with this whole apocalypse.
Exactly.
There's two things that went wrong. One, we saw that they were keeping the dead, which harpens back to Herschel's farm, like you were kind of alluding to. They're obviously just like in The Walking Dead. There's people that believe that these people are sick and can be cured.
Right.
They don't know the truth yet, that they are dead. They are, I guess, people, they've seen them reanimate, but they just don't know what's happening yet. They didn't have the luxury of going to the CDC and getting explained that everything is happening. So as soon as I saw that, I was like, okay, well, that's going to explain what's going to happen kind of towards the end. But the other thing is, we're shown as Madison is getting attacked, we're shown Chris as something going on with his mind.
Yeah.
So we see him not go and save her right away, right? And then we see him threaten Alicia.
That was very surprising for him to say, you can't say anything. He looked very menacing and very threatening to her. Like, you can't, if you tell anybody, it seemed like it was an either-or proposition. Yeah, if you say it, something bad's going to happen to you.
Totally.
But he said, I don't want to hurt anyone.
Yes.
Other than, like, I don't want to hurt you type of thing. But it was implied. So I'm not really sure where that's going, because I really had thought, leading up to this point, especially when Chris was the one who killed Reed, to save everyone, I really thought, okay, he's becoming like that he's growing up and he's kind of learning how to live in this world, and he's going to be a good, strong character. But to have him just go off the rails like this is just kind of weird, because it's very ambiguous as like what's actually happening. It's like, is he really threatening her? Is just the circumstances look weird,
Right.
Because towards the end of that episode, he walks to the room and he picks up the knife when Alicia and Madison were in the same bed, and they wake up and he's got a knife in his hand. I'm like, well, was he just picking it up, or was he really being threatened? Because it looked like he was like, oh no, it's not what you.
Yeah, it looks like he was trying to grab it and go do something.
Right.
But bad timing, it's like.
It seemed very.
But it set him
weird.
off to where he, ran away, and it's very confusing. So that's what I got out of that episode was, there's two threats there. Something's going to turn the situation in the wrong direction. The walkers that they're keeping captive, or Chris.
Right.
So we lead into the finale, which kind of starts off with, it kind of ended with Strand not taking.
Yes. I think he did the right thing. I think
agree.
If you care about somebody in this new world, the only way to really show, it's kind of a bizarre thing to say, the only way to show you that you actually cared about them was that when they actually die, however they do die, whether it be, by a zombie attack or whatever, you shoot them in the head so they don't come back. Let them rest in peace. That's kind of the whole thing. So I felt that Strand had some integrity there. Mm-hmm. I knew when he did that, like, that's just going to change the dynamic of everything. Because the mom, Celia, started off episode 6 saying, really opening up to Strand, saying, like, I didn't think you were good enough for my son, but now I've come to care about you and all your people and all this other stuff. Then in 180, she's just like, get out. You're done. You're an idiot. So I thought that was...
And it's not even actually her son. It's, you know what I mean? She just cared for him when she was young, kind of the family.
Yeah, because actually Luis is
her
is a
son.
son.
Correct.
And we have a little thing about that as well. So.
Yeah. So right off the bat, there's tension going on with, Strand basically getting expelled from the estate, and then of course, there's Nick. Now that and there's a couple things that happen in this episode is you see Nick who's trying to keep the family there.
Right.
So he goes off and does his thing where he gets blood all over him.
Yep.
And brings Luis back.
I thought it was pretty crazy.
I thought that was pretty crazy too.
I did not expect that at all.
No.
I was like, how are they going to end up being able to stay? And again, it's Nick who actually... Nick is the only one that's been able to follow through and do the things he needs to do to protect his family and keep them safe.
Right.
By doing these outrageous things, but he's still doing them. So I think I love his character, which is why the end of the episode kind of... I was like, what happened there? I'm not
Very
really sure
strange.
because we'll get to that. But I was just like, that's
and then of course, you still have the tension with Madison and Alicia with Chris. Travis runs after him. Very strange. I didn't know he didn't have shoes on.
Yeah, the socks. I didn't realize that either.
And
I was trying to figure out why he stopped. Like, is he hurt?
I agree.
I was trying to think back
weird.
to the episode. Like, did he actually get? Did somebody shoot him, or did he get
ran after him without any shoes on?
Yeah.
And apparently, you get all bloody.
Yeah.
Your feet get all bloody for that.
That's better socks. All I'm saying.
I guess, or go back for your shoes. I don't know. So he gets, we when he finally does find Chris, there's something not right with him.
Yeah, I thought that was very odd. Again, I think
He's got the gun.
I think Chris's, I don't know, his mentality is I don't really get where it's coming from because
I don't either.
For him to be in this guy's house, the guy's obviously saying, no habla,
English,
so can't speak English, and he's trying to get him out of his house. Here's shoes, whatever, and of course, Travis is trying to say, I'm looking for my son. Trying to explain it, and for Chris to be the one holding the kid at gunpoint. I'm like, what? Where is this going? I don't understand where that's going.
I don't either.
He can't go back he can't go back because everyone's scared of him now, or whatever the situation be. Because it seems, again, it didn't play out very clearly to me that it was intentional, or he is kind of going off the rails, or if it's just a matter of really bad coincidences that led up to that point.
Right.
Wrong place, wrong time type of thing. I'm not really sure if that was what it was. And to me, this episode ended very much like The Walking Dead tends to do on many occasions, especially throughout the 6 seasons they went through, is that they get to a point and then everyone splits up. For whatever reason, whether it's mass destruction, whether it's whatever happens to be. But the one thing I found interesting, I've been very critical of Madison's character. I just feel like, again, even before Nick went off to go get Luis, she was like, "Stay away from Celia." I'm finding Nick's like, "What?" Like, I felt like Nick, at least non-verbally, said, "No, I'm going to do what I want."
Yeah.
Finally. So, what did you think of the scene where Madison went off with Celia? Because I thought that was the one time that I really liked Madison's character.
When she was like, "I want to understand," kind of thing.
And she went to visit the dead, and she opens the the cell.
Now, that was a. I hate to say it, but that was a Rick Grimes move.
Oh yeah, absolutely, very much so.
I want this place. I'm going to do what's best for the group, my group, and you need to go.
Yep.
But we didn't see what happened to her.
We didn't. But
as we didn't see what happened to Daniel.
Right.
Which is the next thing that,
Again,
I never saw that coming. I did not see that coming.
I didn't either. And I don't.
What caused him to all of a sudden just go crazy and, you know what I mean? Like, has he been seeing his dead wife this whole time?
I totally agree. He kind of, much like Chris, he goes from being a very strong, smart character,
probably the strongest of the group.
Yes, to going completely off the rails again. Much like Rick. Again, it harkens back to The Walking Dead when Rick was using the phone to talk to Lori, and it's like he's just talking to her now, and I'm like, for a character to just kind of have that kind of drastic turn in their plot line is just weird to me. Because it wasn't gradual. It would have been different if maybe when they were on the boat at some point early on in the season, maybe he was doing something a little weird, but he seemed like he was very, on point as far as like what's happening, what's Strand doing, where are we going, trying to get all this information out. Then all of a sudden just be like sitting on the edge of bed like, I don't want to eat. You know, I'm like, what? I didn't get it. I didn't get it
either.
I felt. I mean, I know the plot device to actually get the fire started, but still, it seemed a weird way to get to that point for me, anyway.
Yeah, so the place goes up in flames. Again, you don't see the fate. So we get to basically see the fates of most of the characters, but Celia, we don't know technically.
Technically, but the Talking Dead actually did in the memoriam.
Oh, they
put
did?
her in that, yes.
They did put her in there?
Yes, they did.
Oh, I didn't see that. So,
but you didn't see it on the
Daniel?
show. No, because actual both Celia, the woman who plays Celia, and Ruben Blades were on Talking Dead, and they made it seem like very much like we don't know the fate of, because he wasn't in the memoriam. It was like we don't know the fate of Daniel, but
he survives. I'm pretty sure he survives.
I would say he does, but I mean, Celia, that's the only reason.
Wow.
If they hadn't shown her in the memoriam, I would have thought it's very vague because we didn't see her die.
We did not see her die.
Because they didn't show it in the show. I would have thought they would have.
I really wanted to see her die.
Yeah, I would have like seen Luis like go after her.
Yes.
Like that would be the thing, right?
That would
but
have been.
I thought that was kind of weird. They didn't do that, considering they at least want us to believe.
That's funny.
That she did die.
That's
on
funny.
The show.
I did not. I watched the beginning of that Talking Dead, but I didn't watch it all.
Yeah.
So crazy. So then, obviously, Travis's and Chris's fate. I don't know where they're heading.
They're not coming back. They're going to stay at this dude's house or whatever.
I guess with no supplies. Whatever. So they're on their own. Strand comes back and grabs Madison
and Alicia.
And I thought there was another one. No,
is
that it? It's just them three.
Yep.
Okay, so they're trying to get Nick.
Right.
So what about that decision?
Again, I think it's a weird way to deal with that character as strong as they have become. And I get it that maybe there was part of Nick that was kind of buying to what Celia said, like, maybe, they aren't dead. This is the new dead. This is the afterlife or whatever. I don't know. Maybe that's what she was trying to get across. Being a very, Mexico is the population is quite religious. So they have a different view of death a lot of times. So to have that happen and Nick kind of buying into it, I got it. But I thought it was more of like, hey, I need to keep my family here, so I need to do what I got to do. But for him to be like, I'm like, I don't know where he's going. What's he doing? Yeah. The whole place is burning down. There's zombies everywhere, which he feels he's not going to die from at all. He feels invincible as far as that goes. But again, you're burning everything down. You got no food supplies. You got no people there.
Yeah.
Again, it's very Walking Dead to break everyone up and send them on their way for a while.
But I was just wondering why Madison didn't just say, "Look, there's walkers. They were keeping walkers here, and they did this. Let's go." And
I feel like I totally agree with you on that. I feel like it was a very weird character turn for Madison, who's been nothing but, you're coming with me. You're going to do what I say. You're not going to do this. You're going to be, you stay back. She's constantly on Nick about Nick and Alicia, like what they can't do. But when the moment comes when she's like, you have to get in this truck, he's like, nah. She's like,
okay.
Drive away. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
That was a very, very weird character turn for her.
And it felt like Alicia was just like, fine, whatever.
She
had no emotion whatsoever.
I just felt like she was. I thought based on what she had done with the whole thing with Reed and all that whole Jake and all that whole situation they had, she came out a very strong character in that. And I felt like they kind of misused her in these last two episodes because she was kind of not really around.
Yeah.
I mean, she was there, but I'm just scared of Chris now. I just seemed weird.
Ophelia was in the truck too.
Ophelia, she was. Yes, you're right. You're right.
So that's all the characters basically. Again, like you said, in Walking Dead fashion, it kind of ends with them separated, and we'll get back to the mid-season premiere in August, leading up to the premiere of The Walking Dead.
Right.
So there's, I think that was 7 episodes. There's about 8. I think there's 8 episodes next.
Yep.
So the continuation of season 2 will happen. What do you think is going to happen?
I have no idea. I really don't.
Where do they go from here?
Because they're so separated. I'm afraid they come back and we have a full episode that's nothing but like Travis and Chris, and then we have a full episode that's nothing but like Strand's group, and then we have. I don't know what they can do with Nick. I don't understand where that's going.
Yeah.
Is he just going to walk around the dead in this compound the whole time?
I guess.
And I really don't know where it's going because I can't imagine, Madison and that whole group going back to the boat, going back to the Abigail, and just they're not really going to take off and leave Travis because she made Madison made such a big deal of Travis has to come back.
Yeah.
I can't leave without Travis. Well, Travis isn't coming back.
No.
So what are they going to do? So it really messed with my head as far as like where they're going.
Yeah.
And what's going to happen. That's not bad storytelling.
It's not
necessarily, but it's just
the fact that you don't know is very good.
I really can't telegraph how this is playing out.
Me neither.
At this point,
I don't know how they get back together. I really don't. I don't see, because they're in a truck and they're driving away. I don't see how they, as in Daniel, Nick, Chris, and Travis, how they catch back up with them.
Yeah, because Daniel's still at the compound somewhere.
He is somewhere.
If he's not dead.
If he's alive. Yeah.
So I mean, okay, we get him and Nick because they're the only two really left there, right? We have a Daniel Nick situation. I don't know. It seems very.
I mean, the bottom line is I'm going to watch.
Yeah, it definitely made me watch. I want to know what happens. I'd have to say that, for the people, us included, who criticized season 1 for being what it was, but again, I didn't really blame them that much because I just have too much information as far as like watching The Walking Dead. So all the denials and things like that, and this can't be happening. It doesn't play anymore to me personally.
Yeah.
But I feel like I really feel like, and I've told people who didn't want to watch season 2, I'm like, I've actually liked where they've taken the story.
I have.
That, on the water, and there's still, salvage. There's still a lot of stuff to be salvaged. And there's new places to find where that is a whole new exploration outside of Rick's group. Like, I hope we find something soon. I mean, whatever. So I feel like this has actually gone in a fairly good direction. Although I could have done without, when the apocalypse comes, just kill him. Don't put him in a cage.
Yeah,
don't
correct.
try to save him. It's just end it. I mean, because I felt like that was almost a little too much of a reference to what Herschel's farm was.
Correct.
Because that was a shock in and of itself. That was enough to be like that moment. People maybe who didn't watch that, they'll be shocked by this. But I just feel like, I had that one moment like, oh, come on, just.
I don't know anybody watching this that doesn't watch The Walking Dead.
True. Probably
not. So.
But I mean, I think the show's. I think it's starting to find its feet. I think it's starting to know where it's going. I feel like I just thought, again, and this I guess not necessarily bad storytelling, but they really took some weird turns with most of these characters.
Right.
In this season finale, I thought.
I agree. Well, let us know what you thought. Comment below, and keep staying tuned to this channel with the 21 Network, where things are changing. Change is coming very soon.
I don't know what that means.
So stay tuned to this channel. Subscribe if you haven't already. 21network.com. Follow us on there. 21 Network on Twitter. He's Director421 on Twitter.
He's DCottingham21 on Twitter.
Thanks for watching Dead Edition. Like I said, stay tuned to 21 Network for all the upcoming stuff here coming very shortly in the next couple months. We'll keep you posted and let you know. For Russell.
For Dave.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Bye.